Well, good evening and welcome to 660 here at Mad Anywhere. It's 6:30 p.m. in the UK, it's 1:30 in New York, it's 10:30 a.m. in San Francisco. Wherever you are in the world, it is time for a drink. And if you don't have a drink, well, we're going to solve that for you over the next 60 minutes. We've got 6 companies pitching their big idea to help AB-Inbev drive direct-to-consumer channels. And they're going to be pitching for the chance to win a 20K paid pilot. As Ali mentioned, my name's Jeremy Basset. I run an innovation consultancy called CoCubed, and we help the world's biggest brands connect with the world's most innovative startups. That's exactly what we're doing here tonight, and here's a 30-second overview of what we do. What I love about our work at CoCubed is that we work at the intersection of the world's biggest brands and the world's most innovative startups. It's startups that are pioneering the future, and if you think about it, there's never been a more important time to pioneer. As we've just heard, innovation plays a critical role in every industry, but particularly in marketing. And when it comes to marketing, we're constantly looking for solutions that are more engaging, more effective at optimizing our spend and enabling us to work in more agile ways. And that's what the startups that you're going to meet here tonight are doing. They're allowing us to be more efficient, more effective, and more agile. They're also offering us a glimpse into the future. You're going to see 6 companies pitch their big idea to AB-Inbev, but in many ways, these solutions could be applied to your brand. Many brands at the moment are looking at going direct to consumer or growing their direct to consumer channels, and the companies that you're going to meet here are doing exactly that. So what I want you to do is to lean in, to think about how can you apply these technologies in your business. Don't just sit back and chill out. Of course, grab a drink, but also start to think practically about how you can apply these ideas in your brand or in your agency. A few months ago, we engaged with the team from AB-Inbev, and they gave us this challenge of how do we take startups and use them to drive our direct-to-consumer channels. And we invited startup applications from around the world. We were overwhelmed with the response that we got. And we put that past the panel, and the panel has selected the companies that you're going to meet here tonight. Each company has 3 minutes to pitch, and then 2 minutes for some quick questions from AB-Inbev. So to tell us more about the brief and to give a little bit more background on the criteria, we've got Dan here from AB-Inbev. Dan, welcome to 660 and welcome to Mad Anywhere.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here, Dan. Why don't you start by giving us a little bit of an overview of AB-Inbev and the beer garage and your role there?
So sure, I don't know if it needs much introduction, but AB-Inbev is the largest brewer in the world. My current role is innovation manager within our company's innovation group. So I work with key stakeholders around the organization, such as e-com and D2C and marketing, to track down their biggest opportunities and problem statements. And then we bring that within our innovation group and work with startups to see if there's something we can partner on or build an MVP internally. So by incubating these early ideas and executing on these major pilots, we ensure that these technologies can scale throughout our organization.
Fantastic. So great opportunity here for startups. What are you looking for tonight in terms of the brief? Talk us through the challenge that you've put out to the startups.
Sure. So right now, just kind of answering some of those questions, right now we're focused on a variety of D2C channels with an own store and marketplace, retailer search and awareness, as well as, points and rewards for purchasing beer and getting discounts on merchandise. And success around these is obviously things around like positive ROAS and really, retaining members in interactive ways. Increasing sales is always a great one. But really it's just about how do we, I think core to all of those things and all those success metrics is, unlocking first party data, increasing sales is truly about the consumer journey engagement. Just-in-time personalized ads on all of their favorite platforms, driving return visits from customers, We're basically looking to see what types of unique opportunities you use and offer to engage users on their entire journey and how we can effectively follow up with them.
Very cool. And in terms of criteria, obviously you're going to be awarding one of the companies a 20K paid pilot tonight. What's the criteria that you're applying to judge the companies?
That's something I'll have to take back. We don't have necessarily clearly defined criteria, but it's really what I had just mentioned. Are we able to drive ROAS? Are we able to have monthly active users, increase of 20%, for example? Are we able to offer them something we haven't thought of before that really engages them in a unique way, through e-gaming or something like that? And I think all of that will drive users back to our site and will solve the problem of first-party data, which I believe was in our initial brief.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let's get this show on the road. And we've got 6 companies that are about to give their pitch, but it all starts with community. And what better way to start than thinking about building the world's biggest virtual beer garden? And a company with a big idea for AB-Inbev is Fluid Ads. And from Fluid Ads, we're joined by Amber. Amber, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. We are thrilled at Fluid Ads to be presenting to Dan at AB-Inbev. So before I focus on the D2C challenge, I'm just going to share some Fluid Ads features, both in platform and through our managed services. So Fluid Ads was created after winning a Unilever concept. Our platform provides creativity, discovery, understanding, and social relationships. So we understand that acquiring new business can be thirsty work. So now let's get on to your personal challenge. Welcome to the virtual beer garden, where only flavours and behaviours matter. Fluid Ads focuses on certain locations and outlets to determine your target audiences. This initiates your D2C relationship through digital advertising. From this, we can help tap into those audiences, segmenting them into their preferred drink flavours, very much personalised. So, how do we do this? Well, using our unique platforms that allows us to build eye-catching and both engaging ads, either from scratch or from template, we can give you the full brand control. Now that we've identified your audience, we can segment your consumers' preferences, things such as flavour or personality, with ads like these. We would also recommend vouchers or discount codes if you're trying to boost that engagement. We can target not only location, but also the websites that your potential customers may be visiting. We can do this through context, keywords, geolocation, geofencing, and last but no means least, retargeting to progress that D2C relationship. Throughout and after your campaign, we can report on the success and gain valuable insights to plan for your next steps. Our methods can strengthen and nurture your relationship D2C in a multitude of ways. So now that you actually own the data, we can understand and use tactical deploys going forward. We could do this by increasing your current customers by cross-selling different flavours, or by going after new business, targeting competitive brands with your alternatives. So, in a nutshell, we have a variety of different tactics to boost your D2C support and customer acquisition. We hope you come on board and discover your customer journey. Now it's over to John for the Q&A. Thanks, John. Cheers.
Great pitch, Amber. Well done. Yeah, Dan, we've got time for a couple of quick questions. And John, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Dan, over to you for some questions.
I don't have any right now. I'm kind of digesting some of that, so it looks really, really interesting so far, though.
Okay.
Really engaging from a virtual side of engaging with our customers through the virtual garden is what I'm talking about when I talk about engagement, and then controlling that journey through first-party data, and you guys offering and controlling that experience and helping us along with that is really helpful. But it's
Awesome.
something I'll need to discuss, with the team afterwards.
Very cool. John, it looks like you're getting off a bit light here, but I guess you got the beer to enjoy. So we'll leave you to the beer. Just checking down, no questions before we let them go?
Not as of now, no.
Cool. All right, well, Amber and John, stick around. We're going to be awarding the winner right after this, but now it's time to move to our second pitch. And obviously, there's an exponential number of channels that we can use to communicate to people. Not only have you got all the social channels, but then you've got all of the messenger channels, WhatsApp, Signal, everything else. How do you stitch them all together? Well, a company that is bringing a solution to that is called Hashting. And from Hashting, we're joined by James. James, over to you.
Hey, good morning, AB-Inbev team. This is James and Bart from Hashting. So just as you mentioned in your brief, we found that brands are actually struggling to connect with consumers across all the different marketing or media touch points using just one single solution. And Hashting solved this problem in a surprisingly simple way based on two insights. Firstly, a consumer's phone number is the ultimate, unique and omni-channel identifier. And secondly, every single one of us uses text messaging services all day long. And that's why we created a platform to build consumer journeys on SMS, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Telegram, and many more. But even more important than connecting with consumers is conversion and engagement. And that's why Hashting builds mobile consumer journeys that enable you to connect any media touch point, online or offline, through instant messaging in just a single click or scan. You can then convert to purchase in any sales channel with a cashback, a coupon, or a gift based simply on their proof of purchase, and then continue the conversation to engage with consumers post-purchase. And this makes Hashting the only technology that gives you media attribution, proof of purchase, and consumer data all in one place, tracked on a real-time dashboard, just like the one that you see on the left. And that's how we close the loop on the consumer journey and where the real innovation is and why Hashting is the missing link. And if we start to explore some of those any scenarios, any touch point, any store, any venue, you quickly see the endless flexibility and options that we have to connect and stay connected with the consumer. You can connect with the consumer before arriving in store or on trade using any online touch point from social media ads, or CRM or influencers, and start that consumer journey. You can connect with them during their visit through point of sale material and connect with them after their visit using your pack. And here you can then convert consumers to purchase with a cashback, a coupon, or a reward. And there's an absolute endless variety of offers, including simple cashbacks, happy hours, bonus rounds, charity donations, instant win competitions, and so on. These offers can be as dynamic and as interactive as you liked, based on gamification, a venue, or even a live event. And finally, how to continue that conversation and engage with consumers. Well, firstly, all first-party data belongs to AB-Inbev. Secondly, we help turn your consumers into your media by enabling them to gift or challenge a friend simply by forwarding a message. And we serve loyalty rewards that people can't forget to take with them because it's in their SMS, their WhatsApp, or their Messenger. And last but not least, you can serve the same consumer on and off trade without having to pay twice to reach them. And that's when you connect these dots, Hashting can give you a closed loop journey where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And Bart is going to handle the tough questions. Don't let him off lightly.
Great. Thanks, James. And thanks for joining, Bart. Dan, we've got time for a couple of quick questions.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. So how do you convince users to download your services into their favorite chat applications?
They don't have to download anything.
Okay. So there's no download.
One click, one scan into SMS, WhatsApp, or Messenger.
Give you two examples. If it's an offline touch point, they scan a QR code, and in the QR code, we create a message for them that they send. and we reply to the message, and it starts a journey. If it's an online touch point, we bring them to a landing page where they can connect through WhatsApp or SMS, and the journey starts. So it's a consumer who initiates the journey, and it's just back and forth messaging.
Very cool. Okay. And what is your kind of success metrics? Like, what is the rate of people actually engaging and following through to a purchase?
Something that we didn't mention is the fact that when consumers start a journey, they send a unique code, a code that is attributed to a media channel, to a media touch point. And so the conversion funnel from interest, intention, conversion to purchase, and engaging, we can track it for every single touch point.
But ultimately, the KPI is a receipt or a proof of purchase. It's the way we set our KPIs is how many new consumers do you want as proven by receipt.
Excellent. Good, guys. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. But Bart and James, thanks for joining. Do stick around. We're going to be announcing the winner at the end of these 5 pitches. But right now, it's time to introduce our third company today. And now we've got lots of content. But the key challenge is, how do we make that content shoppable? Well, with a solution to that, we've got a company called Adimo. And from that, we've got our first double act, Lauren and Stacey. Over to you guys.
Hi there. So yeah, apologies, it's just myself today, but here to basically chat through the challenge in which how can AB-Inbev boost D2C channels and acquire customers more effectively. So first, just to kick off, a little bit more about Adimo. So in short, what we do is we make marketing shoppable, and how we do that is by making the entirety of your marketing footprint, so wherever your brands exist, essentially you're able to drive users to purchase. So there's a few different solutions that we offer, but the one in which we're going to focus on today is our buy now integration. Put simply, all a user has to do is engage with the content. So that could be, website, Facebook, whatever. They then select their retailer of choice, and then from doing so, the products that are available along with the price point will appear, and by simply clicking buy now, they're taken through to the retailer product page where they can find out more information and actually buy your products in the moment that they are most engaged. Now, because we work with so many different D2C channels, so we've got lots of experience in actually looping in not your traditional retailers, but also your own D2C platforms. Now, we've seen great results in harnessing both in terms of, making sure that you have that opportunity to allow your customers to purchase from, whichever platform they desire. And the results that we see are very good. So typically, on average, we're seeing 20 to 30% of those leads come through, whether that might be the D2C platform, but you still got a higher percentage that might typically link through to retailers. But by giving those customers choice, we know that that's what's part and parcel of a best-in-class shopper experience. And the great thing about this is that you're still reaping the benefits of having your own D2C platform. So we're still allowing you to own your own data. You still have full sight of the analytics behind the scenes. And as well as that, you're also influencing products that you are prioritizing and pushing online, because it's all said and led completely by you guys. So on the data piece, of course, every stage of that journey is tracked in our dashboard. So those users that are coming through are, of course, we're tracking every stage in which they take. So that's understanding how you're converting clickers into customers. In addition to that, we also have sales tracking capability. So when you're looking at customers and actually understanding how many have bought, what products they have bought, that sort of information, it's all stored within the platform that you have access to 24/7. In terms of what you can then do with that data, there are lots of opportunities in terms of retargeting, and then making sure that funnels through to things like Facebook tracking pixels, so that you can then actually retarget those consumers and acquire and win those customers. And finally, that all lives within those central platforms such as Adimo Analytics, but we also link in with your own internal platforms so that you can actually see this in the best way possible that suits you, so that you can understand those customers that have been won, and in addition to that, the impact that it has in terms of their preferences, so D2C versus traditional retailers. Thank you for listening, and yeah, it'd be great to understand any questions that you have.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lauren. Love this, turning clicks into customers. Daniel, what do you think? Questions for Adimo?
Sure. I'm just in terms of kind of similar question to before, in terms of the case studies you've run with other organizations. What does that look like? What would a pilot with us look like? If you could help me understand that a little bit better.
Yeah, of course. So typically what we do for our clients is run on a license basis, but what that allows you to do is actually utilize this technology across everything that you're doing a bit more seamlessly. That said, if you'd be more interested in looking at a pilot first, then that is absolutely something that we can do. So it's just about understanding, exactly what you have coming up in your media plan. If you're happy to share that with us, we'll then make recommendations as where to best utilize the solution. Make sure that obviously the messaging is really consistent so you are seeing those results pull through in the lower funnel strategy essentially. In terms of case studies, we can provide benchmarks on conversion rates and that sort of thing if you'd be interested for this particular category.
Cool. And Lauren, what's involved in getting set up and launching a campaign on this?
Yeah, so put simply, all we need from you guys is a couple of key assets. So things like your brand guidelines, confirmation of the retailers and the products you want included. And then essentially from there, we do all of the heavy lifting. We make sure that obviously the styling of the page and the integrations is in line with what you would expect, really bring those products to life. And then we basically supply you with an integration guide. So really straightforward.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you. Do stick around. We're going to go into our fourth pitch now. So that's 3 down, 3 to go. Obviously, a big challenge with the web is that by nature, it's a two-dimensional experience. A company that is on a mission to change that is Threedium. And from Threedium, we have Lode. Lode, over to you.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lode Groosman, and I'm one of the founders and chief commercial officer at Threedium. Well, like most of you, if not all of you, I've spent the last months moving between my kitchen, living room, and bedroom. And because of this constraint, I've become a lot more adept with online shopping. Now, this is not just a personal experience. This is something we're seeing with customers across industries around the world. Now, as we know, the online world is cluttered with content. And so user attention is very limited, making user engagement more important than ever before. So the key question you should be asking yourself is, how do you make your brand and your content stand out amongst this clutter and really capture your customers' attention and interest? So let me introduce to you Threedium's lightweight and lightning fast 3D AR formats that bring your product to life online. Showcasing in 3D isn't just about being trendy, it's a better way to accurately display your products online, as it is the closest representation of your products in their physical form. Currently, companies are still heavily relying on passive formats such as images and video, whereby the end user just sits there and can be easily deviated. 3D formats, on the other hand, make it an active shopping experience. And it isn't just scrolling through pictures or words, it invites the customer to play a part and explore the product as if it were right there in front of them. This leads to better informed customers who are more likely to buy and less likely to return purchases. But we can take it a step further and help educate your customers through interactive hotspots that can call out existing or new marketing material in the form of video, text, or images, and really highlight the USPs of your product. So is it ethically sourced material? Is there something about your brand heritage that adds value to the product? Turn any standard product display into a brand storytelling experience that will deepen the bond between the customer, your brand, and the product. Now, all our 3D formats are AR ready, allowing your customers to experience your products in their life-size dimensions in any real-world environment. This is experienced straight through the browser. So with a simple click of an icon or scanning a QR code, the user can experience the product in the comfort of their own home. No need to download an app, log in, or any of that. Aside from being compatible with augmented reality, the very same 3D models that you would use on your e-commerce or with your e-retailers can be placed within banner ads that can be programmatically distributed across any DSP. So use the very same 3D assets across your digital channels, be it e-commerce, digital advertising, social media, and more. But if you don't want to take my word for it, take the word of our partners who have entrusted us with their online product experience over the years. I'm happy to share some data around performance and engagements that we've achieved. So on that note, We live in a 3D world, and the internet is finally catching up. So join Threedium today as we set a new web standard. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you, Lode. Daniel, what questions do you have for Threedium?
Yeah, this is quite fascinating. I'm just wondering, I'm also interested in the 3D space as well. I'm wondering how you've seen that 3D helps sell more product over 2D experiences. I know that, in VR, people get engaged and a little bit more engaged into their experience, but I don't know, from a product selling perspective, what you've seen in its efficacy.
So in terms of engagement, overall, we've seen that 3D formats, when compared to just static images, we've achieved higher metrics across the board. So this is from actual user engagement, from number of clicks, time spent on the website, basket sizes increasing, lower cart abandonments, also lower product returns, because we're bridging that gap between expectation and reality through the 3D format.
Very cool. Just had a question come in from my colleague. Does clicking the bottle, or is it possible to click the bottle that and it shows like a geofenced or non-geofenced buying option?
I didn't catch that last part, sorry.
So in the 3D experience, you click on the bottle and does it show relevant buying opportunities?
It can, yes. That's something that we can include.
Okay, so it doesn't currently.
Well, it's an option, so either it can be a standalone product or we can include buying features.
Okay, cool. And would these be able to be geofenced so that the buying options would be relevant to the person's location?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lode. Stick around. We've got 2 more pictures to go, and we're going to be continuing exploring content that is clickable. Obviously, video is one of the most important mediums that we have as marketeers to bring brand experiences to life. But how do you make video something that could also lead to a transaction? Well, a solution to that is Playrcart. And from Playrcart, we've got Oliver. Oliver, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oliver, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about Playrcart and our transactional ad technology, the biggest development in e-commerce since e-commerce. First of all, I want to thank AB-Inbev for posing the below question. How do we build a direct relationship with consumers without a compelling D2C offering? Now, when we posed this question, we wanted to break down what not having a D2C offering would mean and what the problems pose. So if we look at the channels that AB-Inbev would be looking to engage with their audiences, they would be through digital marketing strategies and their third-party retailer website. Both channels is where they would yield their information and data about their consumers. And as we know, the third-party cookie is demising, so therein lies an issue. If we take this iteration here, where an AB-Inbev ad has been served to me on delicious.com, I'm engaging with that ad and I click through to the third-party retailer website. At that point, I am completely at the mercy of that conversion funnel. And as we all know from our consumer journeys, there are multiple occasions where we and ah and actually potentially drop off that conversion funnel. I know I myself have fallen subject to this. So there's a true disconnect between video and connecting with our consumers and the consumer purchase journey. That's why we built Playrcart. Playrcart is a standalone SaaS platform that allows businesses and brands to convert their online video communications assets into instantly transactable storefronts. We allow first-party data to be collected at the impression level, and we allow consumers to convert when that emotional response and incentive to purchase is at its highest, all while remaining within the video asset. So how can Playrcart help AB-Inbev? We've taken the liberty of mocking up one of your most famous global brands with our transactional ad technology. We've taken your existing video creative, which is layered in with our technology, and by engaging with the call to action, the consumer is free to configure their purchase. They can choose which Corona bottles they would like to purchase, the number of cases they would like, adding their customer details, auto-filled with their cash, adding their delivery details, again, auto-filled with cash, simple as that, and then selecting their fulfillment channel, which they would like this product delivered to them. If they chose Amazon, they would be able to log in by their email and password, and then continue down the Amazon path. Buying now, and the order is confirmed, at which point Playercart's platform would take that commerce information and deliver it to that third-party fulfillment channel. So how does fulfillment work? Playercart needs to achieve an integration to allow our technical platform that you can see there in the middle of the diagram to communicate with third-party systems. And these third-party systems can be e-commerce platforms, payment gateways, and CRMs. We can change our front-end player and video overlays to suit almost any call to action and any brand campaign. We achieve this through API keys. Where can our formats run? We can push these videos out to suit any video assets. We can build these to be pre-roll, connected TV, even live stream environments, and bespoke. We have a relationship with Facebook where we can host our HTML5.
Oliver, thank you. Daniel, we've got time for a couple of quick questions.
Sure. How does this looks really really cool? You know, in-ad purchases, something that we've been struggling with. So how do you guys choose retailers? Is it connections to a third party, or?
How do we choose retailers? So if we were to work with AB-Inbev on this strategy, it would be one of your preferred retailers that we would establish that connection with and the API integration.
So you take direction from the client as to which retailers you push people to?
Absolutely. So if AB-Inbev said that they wanted to work with Amazon as a fulfillment partner, we would establish a connection on their behalf, or vice versa. We'd work with potentially your largest UK third-party retailer that might be, let's say, Majestic Wines, for example. We would integrate our technology within their e-commerce system and push orders directly to them.
Okay.
Very cool. And how easy is it to integrate per retailer? Is it easy to get a marketplace up and running where it's multiple retailers that are selectable?
The integration is centered around API keys, so it's pretty standard practice when it comes to third-party integrations. It really depends on the scope of the work, but the integration can be achieved within a couple of weeks.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you, Oliver. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. But it's time now to jump into our last pitch today. So we've gone through the journey. We've created great content. We've made that shoppable, and we've gone into the transaction. But what happens after the sale has been made? How do we get consumers coming back, and how do we drive loyalty? Well, a company with a solution to that is Bowimi. And from Bowimi, we've got Dom. Dom, over to you.
Hi all, my name's Dom and I'm the founder of Bowimi. So over these crazy past 12 months, it's no secret that direct consumer channels have been huge for brands to get their products into the hands of consumers. However, whilst many sectors have seen a lot of innovation, has D2C really changed that much? Sure, you can now order with the touch of a button and logistics and delivery have greatly improved. But at the end of the day, when the product arrives, the process is the same. You open up the box, maybe some leaflets fall out and you consume the product. What if we could make that experience fun and engaging? Bowimi allows you to create a loyal community of at-home consumers. Previously, we were working in hospitality, providing seamless sampling experiences for beverage brands. However, as the world came crashing down, we were forced to look elsewhere, and pubs, bars, and restaurants closed their doors. We only had to look at Amazon's rising share price to work out where to focus our efforts. So what is our D2C solution? It starts with the product arriving as usual, but this time it will come with some branded merchandise, such as a poster, a coaster, or a glassware, all with a QR code on. As the consumer tucks into their favorite drink, they can scan this QR code, and this is where it gets interesting. They are shown a miniature mobile-friendly webpage, which hosts a virtual experience, which could include an interactive video telling your brand's story, a call to action for their next purchase, or even an augmented reality experience, thanks to our partnership with our fellow finalist, Threedium. So how have we been able to achieve this? We offer the brands 3 simple steps to create these experiences. First, you create your audience and link it to the QR code, such as anyone who's bought hard seltzers. Then you assign the media from your media library. And finally, you can track and manage all of these interaction engagements once it's been distributed via your D2C channel. So what's the outcome? Well, firstly, you've quite literally delivered a unique experience to consumers' door, far superior to any of your competitors. Furthermore, though, you now have a piece of branded merchandise that can sit in their home and can trigger one of these experiences at any point. This could be used for seasonal campaigns, reactive marketing, product launches, or just to show them something cool. The end result is increased brand salience, an increased feeling of brand equity, further loyalty towards the brand, and more chance of repeat purchase. Bowimi is truly bringing to life this D2C experience at home and creating this loyal community of consumers. It would be an honor to work with AB-Inbev and your fantastic range of products, and I welcome any questions. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Dom. You've got time for a couple of quick questions there, Dan.
Sure, I'll make them quick. What is the interaction with QR codes been with your consumers?
So far it's been, after dying of slow and painful death, QR codes are back. And what's extraordinary is how widespread they are. Unlike other services like Wi-Fi or apps, everyone from seniors to younger generation know how to use QR codes simply just by scanning. And so many phones now have QR code scanner built in. So we found that a huge variety of consumers can use it just because it's become so widespread because of COVID. And then out in the Far East, it's always been something that's been used widely.
And do you create the merchandise or just the QR codes?
We stick to just creating. We create the QR codes, and then we can partner with a merchandise provider, and then you can add the QR codes to those, and then we can manage the entire interaction and the web pages which go alongside them.
Okay, last question. For AR, the experiences, would we work with you to define these to be ABI centric, or how are these AR experiences generated?
So we get a model from our partners Threedium, who you would have heard from earlier, and then we do the background work to render this into a image that can be used with sort of iframed within the web page. So we can do all the legwork. You simply just tell us exactly what experience you really want.
I love that. There's already some synergies happening across the startups pitching. Dom, thanks for joining. Stick around. And Dan, that's it now for our questions. We're going to give you 5 minutes now to go away and think about the questions that you might have, the winning company that you want to award the 20K pilot to. So we'll give Dan and the team 5 minutes to go away and deliberate. What a journey it's been. It has been fast and furious. We've had a challenge from AB-Inbev. We've had 6 startups pitch their big idea. It's now time to hear a debrief from our judge. So let's go back over to Daniel to talk through the companies that we've seen pitch here today and announce a winner. Dan, we started with Fluid Ads. What were your thoughts on their big idea for AB-Inbev?
Let's see. I think we wanted to basically ask them a few more questions on how that would all work. So we'll have to follow up with them afterwards.
Cool. We'll connect you right after this. We then followed up with Hashtings, and they're a big idea for one-to-one interaction through SMS and other chat functions. What were your thoughts on Hashtings?
Sounds pretty intriguing. I think it aligns with socialization and loyalty problems. But we'll have to follow up with them afterwards.
Okay, cool. We then looked at Adimo and their way of taking content, making it clickable and turning clicks into transactions. What were your thoughts on their approach to shoppable content?
Could be very cool, worthwhile to investigate, increasing the buy now opportunities when consumers are most engaged. Directly addresses a couple problems we've heard internally. So we think it's also worthwhile to investigate a little bit more. Okay, brilliant. And then we turned our attention to Threedium, having a look at 3D images and how they can play a role in the e-commerce process. What were your thoughts on Threedium? Personal, big fan of 3D consumer engagement. Trying to understand where that fits into the ecosystem a little bit more. Cool. And then we looked at shoppable video with Playrcart. Any thoughts on shoppable video and Playrcart's approach to that? Yeah, we think that in video transactions and ad transactions, does a really good job at addressing a ability to drive more conversions, especially specifically if we hook in with our retailers and our partner APIs through our retailers. I think we could have a lot of engagement there.
Okay, interesting. And then we finished up with Bowimi and their approach to driving loyalty and bringing consumers back. What were your thoughts on that?
This could be a kind of a cool mix, omni-channel experience. So that's kind of what we thought there. Would be interested to follow up with them.
Okay, brilliant. But of course, Daniel, there can only be one winner of the 20K pilot and the opportunity to explore a longer term partnership with AB-Inbev. Hopefully lots of conversations coming out of today. But the winner of the brand challenge for today is?
It's Playrcart.
Playrcart, well done. Hey.
Wow.
Congratulations, Oliver.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're very humbled to be selected as winners. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well done, Oliver. We'll connect you with the guys from AB-Inbev right after this, and you can explore that pilot opportunity and hopefully a much longer term partnership as well. Thank you to Dan. Thank you to Oliver. And also thank you to all our 6 companies for some fantastic pitches today.